Hi, Roger, Weathering Heights. This is the VELCO Weather Hazards Update. I believe number 7 now for the strong potential wind event. We're still looking at the wind event. This is a kind of a general synopsis of what's going on right here. First of all, I want to call attention to the upper level 500 millibar height lines here. And this is the trough of low pressure that in the upper levels anyway is scooping up a lot of moist, deep tropical air. You can even see down here where there's been plenty of thunderstorms feeding in across the southeast United States with numerous watches and warnings, tornadic thunderstorms, supercells, the whole 9 yards. Something we see on a rare occasion here in Vermont during our summer. But these have been lashing out pretty good. But all of this moisture is going to be headed up in sort of different surges. We have the main frontal system here just ahead of this trough. And this is working up, and the pressure gradient is tightening up just a little bit, so we are seeing a little bit of a southeasterly wind in some parts. But this is to be expected ahead of any real frontal system, and not expecting any issues today at all, and that would be through midnight tonight. And this gives you a good look at where it's snowing and raining. So we have cold air that's wrapping in behind this frontal system, wrapping around an area of low pressure that's in the process of becoming the parent area of low pressure. Needless to say, a lot of moisture working up with pretty much solid rain, areas of fog where the ground temperatures are colder due to a snowpack. Looking at surface temperatures here, temperatures in the 50s, zooming up north on these southerly winds. Of course, we're still stuck in the 30s and 40s in some cases. And I'm going to zoom in on this just a little bit here if I can. A little better look here at Vermont. And what we're looking at here is a continuation of winds coming in off the ocean and also taking place moving in aloft out of the south. This is going to continue over the course of the next about 24 hours when that cold front passes. That'll change the wind flow to southwesterly. We'll have strong gusty winds and then finally westerly. And this is the current temperature regime. We have basically 40s across most of southern Vermont, western Vermont. You get up a little bit further to the north, even Highgate comes in with 39 degrees. And of course, east of the Green Mountains where the snowpack is still very, very healthy. Temperatures are basically in the 30s. And one of the hangouts is the area around Springfield. Not too concerned about this for any kind of icing or any kind of issues like that. But it's going to be slow to respond until we get some stronger winds on the eastern side of the Green Mountains. And this is the more trusted computer modeling that we're looking at here with different surges of precipitation. You note this is valid at about 7 o'clock this evening, Christmas Eve, and note there's areas of sort of holes in this sporadic amounts of precipitation that kind of squirt north, and different areas a little bit of subsidence occurs, and so it's just cloudy skies, and these kind of all gel together from time to time. But that's going to be probably some of the weaker amounts of precipitation over the state of Vermont. That'll be valid 1 o'clock in the morning, Christmas morning. We get into, of course, a little bit later on in the morning. This is valid 7 o'clock in the morning. You see the difference there. As we power up a lot of precipitation here as the frontal boundary slides in, it starts to increase precipitation. We get a moderate to potentially heavy shot of rain. It's going to be short-lived, however. And then, of course, the front goes on by, and pressure gradient tightens up considerably with the front and mostly behind the front. We'll probably see an area of clearing skies for a time, just kind of partial clearing that will work on through intervals of sunshine and whatnot. And we'll have to deal with some strong gusty winds. But by all accounts, the strongest winds are going to be to our west across portions of New York, and then along the spine of the Green Mountains, and probably just immediately east of the spine of the Green Mountains on a very localized nature. This does not look like much more than a typical marginal wind event for us, with the winds out of the southwest and then shifting to westerly in the afternoon on Thursday, Christmas Day. Okay, this is valid at 7 o'clock Christmas Eve evening. That is 7 p.m. rather, tonight, Wednesday. And wind gusts are really in the 20s to 30s miles per hour, and not a big deal. You see 6 hours later, this is valid 1 o'clock. These are the kind of winds here that'll be moving in across parts of New York, mainly western and central New York, and make a run toward Vermont. And our wind gusts should increase by, looks like 7 a.m. in the morning. on Thursday morning along the spine of the Green Mountains. A little more susceptible again across parts of southern Vermont. Let's compare that to the model run 12 hours ago. And a little bit of a difference, but not much. It's backed off at least in some of the lower elevations. But again, the spine of the Green Mountains being the main issue. So carrying that further another 6 hours, looks like the northern areas of Vermont back off just a little bit. Southern areas continue. That would be valid 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's compare that to the model 12 hours ago. And it really did back off 12 hours ago. It's back up a little bit across parts of southern Vermont. Again, I think central and southern Vermont are a little bit more susceptible to wind gusts greater than 40 miles per hour, but it's going to be a close call. This is not going to be a big event as what was looking like previously. Now, moving that along, this is valid 7 p.m. Christmas evening. We're looking at still those winds along the spine of the Green Mountains. Winds do fall off, looks like Champlain Valley, but again, along the eastern slopes of the Adirondacks, some serious downsloping winds, and these winds are up around 50 knots. So you can translate that up around 55, 60 miles per hour. These are going to be some very strong winds for parts of New York State, just immediately to the west of us. Let's compare that to 12 hours ago. A little bit of an uptick. So I think we've settled down and bottomed out to the point of where this wind event's going to be. And I'm feeling more confident all the time. We're going to have some outages. It does not look like a big day. It does not look like a huge deal, but at the same time, just enough to cause trouble. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights Consulting.